Welcome to In Pursuit with Pastor Bill.
Hey, I'm just a simple guy in pursuit of knowledge, wisdom, understanding, wild game, fish that swim under the ice, tender smoked meat, tasty grilled meat, and Denise.
In this hour, we are going to be talking about all of that and a whole lot more. Bill has been with Maranatha since 2005 and the campus pastor at Maranatha Chisago Lakes campus since 2011. Come along and join In Pursuit.
Well, good afternoon. Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. I love listening to that music.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like sometimes I don't want to start talking so soon because I like listening to the music. It's cool music.
It is.
Yeah, I dig it. I dig it. How's it going today?
It's good.
Good.
Yeah.
It's funny because I haven't seen you for a few hours and it feels like forever.
It does.
Yeah.
We're just always around each other.
Yeah, it's a little strange when we go different directions in the morning.
Separation is not normal.
Yeah. If I could let everybody know what you said as you were walking out the door this morning, because you had to leave just before me to go into the office, and then I was going to a different location for a meeting.
I don't even remember.
You're walking out the door, and he's like, I don't like this.
Yeah, it's not something we have to do very often.
It's a little different.
It's out of my comfort zone.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's nice. We are joined today by Alice and Shane out in the control tower. How you doing today, Alice?
We're doing great.
Yeah?
I'm
Good.
assuming Shane is doing okay, too.
Yeah.
Unbelievably good.
Unbelievably good, I heard him say. Yeah, that's good. That's very, very, very cool. I'm excited about today's time together. I want to welcome anybody that might be listening, and as we've been doing, I want to invite you, if you are listening and you happen to have my number or Denise's number or Alice's number or Shane's number, please shoot one of us a text so that we can just say hello to you and kind of get an idea who's out there. If you don't have our phone numbers, we would love to have you shoot us an email because I check that periodically too as I'm babbling here. But it's always fun to do this. We are in a very exciting time right now in the church.
Exciting.
Yeah, very exciting. Obviously, for all churches, this is coming up on the Easter season. For some, they're in the middle of or in the Easter season with Lent and a lot of Friday evening fish fries happening right now.
Yeah.
I know.
Yum.
Yeah,
I love fish.
I've never been to the local one in our community. I know St. Bridget's in Lindstrom has a huge turnout at their Friday fish fry.
Yeah. We've driven past it before.
We have, yeah. And I my understanding is it's very well attended. We just need to stop and check it out sometime.
We do.
Yeah.
We like fish.
We do like fish.
So we should.
Yeah.
But it's just so busy.
It's a very busy.
Very busy.
Yeah, very busy night. But James Beeman is listening. James is back at the office doing some work. Hi, James. We actually was it yesterday? Yesterday morning, we had some crappies that we caught ice fishing this last season that we froze.
Yeah, they were so good.
That's all we do is we throw crappie fillets in butter with salt and pepper. We don't bread them, and just
it's
fried
a nice,
in a pan.
Clean piece of meat and so tasty.
It is.
Yeah, we don't even get plates. I probably shouldn't be telling everybody this. We don't even get plates. Bill just puts the fried fish on one plate, sitting on a paper towel, and I bring 2 forks to the table, and we just eat the meat right off that plate.
It's just so good.
Yeah, it's good.
But if we're being honest, though, which once in a while we should try to be,
Yeah,
we do that with some of the meat we cook as well.
it's true.
The meat never makes it to the table. Oftentimes there's no other fixings.
Yep. We just eat it right out of the pan
Yeah.
because it just falls apart when you're trying to get it out. And so we just bring 2 forks to the pan, and this is so good.
Yeah, it is good.
Yeah.
It's very good.
That's what we keep saying. That's my son, Jeff. He teases us because we sit in there eating the meat, and we'll say, oh, this is so good. And we keep saying it over and over. Yeah, so
This is a tender bite.
Yeah,
That's a tender bite. Yeah. A tender, that was a tender piece. That was a tasty piece.
Yeah. You got to have a part of this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we just got a text from Megan Erkey listening once again. Along with that, sent just a cute little picture of Molly. They are baking for the security team meeting tonight, which I am now going to attend. That's wonderful. Hello to Megan, and a special hello to Molly listening as well. We have the Forest Lake crew listening while they're eating lunch. Thank you guys so much for doing that. We appreciate that very, very much. So talking about just kind of this busy time coming up for churches with the Easter season, I just want to make sure everybody's aware, like at our Chisago campus, we do a week of worship. And what that is every night, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of the week right before Easter. So it's like the 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th. We do a night of worship at the Chisago campus where at 6:30 every night we have worship, we have prayer, we have a message ministry. It's just an amazingly powerful night. So we want to invite people to come to that. On Good Friday, we have 2 services at 4:30 and 6:30, and then all of our normal, our 4 weekend services, and all 4 of those are an Easter service.
And they're all the same.
And they're all the same. Yeah. Just finding that works pretty good. I got a text from Cindy Noble. She's listening, and Chuck Quisted said they're listening online from Gobbles, Michigan. We can be considered a nationwide radio program right now.
Ooh.
Oh, that is awesome.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
We just need someone from Russia to tune in.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Yeah.
International.
Now we're international. Yeah. Or Canada.
Yeah, Canada would work too.
So this busy season, and then something that we're very excited about, I know that Cindy is going to be jumping on board with as well, and we'll be telling our church, but here at the Forest Lake campus, as well as their Good Friday service and their Easter services, they're having a huge Easter egg hunt.
Ooh.
And I'm pretty sure it's Saturday, April 12th. Right here. But again, I want to encourage everybody, go to realchurch.org. That's the website, and you can get all the details. It's a huge community event. They have an insane amount of eggs, and they organize it wonderfully. So different age groups, and it's just very, very well done. So if you're looking for just a great Easter egg hunt for the little ones, even the older ones, because like I said, they have different age ranges, check that out and get all those details. But it's just, we get excited about this time.
Yeah.
Just because, Easter, we celebrate a risen Savior. That is the most important part of our Christian faith, is that Jesus stood up and he was raised to life. He walked out of that tomb fulfilling that promise. Do you know what I mean?
Without that, he was just another man.
Just another guy that got crucified.
Yeah.
Yep. So again, this time of Easter, this Resurrection Sunday that we celebrate, it's so important. And so if you're listening and you know somebody that doesn't usually go to church or only goes once in a while, man, encourage them to go to church, because it's such an important time in our Christian faith. But the Easter season, though, and this is where today's topic is going to be coming from, really. It's about this changing season, because Easter always means we're coming up on spring. The weather's changing. I think it's beautiful. Today's going to be a beautiful day, I think in the mid to high 40s, maybe even 50 or something like that. And I just love the changing of the seasons. And that's going to be the title. That's what we're talking about today in our In Pursuit program. We are in pursuit of the next season.
Yeah.
In pursuit of the next season.
It's coming. We might as well be intentional.
That's right. Yeah, absolutely. As I've gotten older, I have found something that I really enjoy in every season.
Yes, you do.
I do, yeah. Like I have...
Passionately enjoy.
I do, yeah. Yep. And it makes the seasons and all the different changes a lot more enjoyable. It's like you can find something you're passionate about and excited about in every season.
Yeah.
So right now, what we're coming up on from a hunting perspective,
Ooh.
and I'm very excited because I have props today, but I didn't just bring props to show.
Yeah.
But
that doesn't work on the radio.
It doesn't work on radio, and I'm all over the place, and so it's like people need to see. But I brought something that's more of an audio illustration.
Audio rather than visual.
Yeah, yeah. Although I would have a video or visual one as well, because I realized in my coat as I was walking in here today, in my coat pocket, I have 2 ice fishing bobbers,
Yeah.
little foam bobbers. So that's last season.
I went out to feed the chickens and I grabbed your coat and I stuck my hand in. I'm like, oh yeah, it's bobbers. I was like, oh, what is this?
What is it? What is this? A worm?
Yep.
Yeah. So coming up now, though, we're coming up on turkey season. It's funny. I was just talking to Ben, the youth pastor here at the Forest Lake campus, on Monday. Just ran into him in the hallway when I was here for a meeting, and right away, that's what we started talking about, is turkey hunting.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm super excited for Ben, because he's got plans to take other people out hunting, and he's got some calls, and I'm just very, very excited for him to experience it, But here's what I brought, though. So when I use turkey hunting is a call. One of the reasons I love turkey hunting so much, and by no means am I an expert. Like, I've done this for a few years. A guy from church, Mike Veerling, same guy that has brought me out west, he really introduced me to it and has taught me, and I've watched videos and different things. But one of the most exciting things about turkey hunting, and it sounds silly, but it's not even when you get to harvest a turkey, although that's obviously very exciting, very satisfying. But it's the fact that in the spring especially, you call them and they answer you.
Yeah. You're interacting with the animal.
You're interacting. It's crazy. So I use a box call. And so what I do is I sit in the blind, and I got to do this with my dad a couple of years ago, where I was calling, and I called him in a Jake. And he's... So
Jake is a teenage.
Yeah.
A teenage
couple-year-old male. Yeah. Maybe 1 year old or so, I suppose, male. Yeah. But my dad had never turkey hunted, and so we were hunting together. And here's what's cool. He was using the single-shot 20 gauge that he gave me when I was like 12 years old. So that's the shotgun he was using while we were turkey hunting together. I'm sitting there, and I got to call in turkeys, and my dad got to harvest a Jake. And it's probably one of my favorite hunting experiences of my entire life.
Oh, yeah. It's cool and sentimental.
Oh, yeah. It was just that whole picture of the full circle of things, like that specific gun and the 2 of us sitting there in the blind together, and just how it all works out. One of the most special hunts of my entire life. Yeah. And it had nothing to do with the bird per se. Like, it wasn't a trophy tom or anything, but he harvested a turkey, and I got to be there and part of it.
Yeah. And
so this whole calling thing, so I have this box call, and you just slide the top, you got to look, it happens. So this is the sound that a hen makes. Doesn't that sound cool? And so you just sit in the blind. Shane's just kind of like, why is this a big deal? I love it. That's why. And they're a lot lighter than deer, Shane. But so you do this call. And these turkeys can hear that. And so that's kind of the noise they make when they're just kind of pecking around at food, And then there's this. But then there's also the bigger, and I don't even know all the names of them, but I'm going to move this away from the microphone so I don't scare everybody away. But here's what it is. Do you hear that? Alice, can you hear it? Can you hear it? Isn't it cool?
That is so cool.
I know. Now imagine this. Shane's losing all respect for me right now. What little he might have had is going out the door. So you make these noises. And what's interesting is these toms, because they roost in trees. And if you've never seen a big turkey fly up into a tree to roost,
it's so cool.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Like, we got to at home, just a gift from the Lord, I think.
It was.
We got to watch these big turkeys fly up into these trees. And so these big toms, and they're big birds, what they'll do in the morning is they'll actually be sitting up in these trees. And if you've seen a tom strut around, like out in the field, where their tails are all fanned out and their wings are, and they just look humongous.
So just so you know, Bill has his arms out, not unlike the SpongeBob event last Sunday. He's got his arms out to the side.
This SpongeBob. Oh, yeah, that was funny.
That was funny. If you don't know what we're talking about, search it. It's out there for you.
It's on our Instagram, actually. If you go to the Maranatha Chisago Lakes Instagram, Jane posted a little clip of the SpongeBob incident from
Did
our
he do it
9:30 service.
on our website too?
I think so, but
I think he put it everywhere.
yeah, it was embarrassing and funny.
It was hilarious.
Back to turkeys. Let's
Yes,
stay
sorry.
on point here. So what these toms will do is so you go out and you sit in the blind early in the morning, and before, just as the sun's coming up, you start doing that big call. And it's kind of letting these toms know, okay, there's a hen in the area. And then from the tree, those toms gobble, and they actually strut up in that branch. They're strutting around as they're gobbling.
That would be so cool to see.
I've never seen it. I've seen videos of it, but I've heard them gobble from the tree. And so then they gobble, and you respond with your call again, and they gobble, and it's like you're talking. And then you hear them getting closer and closer and closer until finally they're obviously, in your shooting lane, in your sight, and then you can harvest one. But it's so exciting. And I use the box call. It's kind of it works great. But last year when I shot a tom, or no, two springs ago, I shot a tom, and I was hunting by myself, and I was bow hunting. And so these toms were right by me, and they gobble, like they're within 10 yards, and they gobble, and it literally scared the heck out of me. Like, I almost jump out of my chair.
They're so loud.
So loud, yeah. But so then what I'd have to do is as they started seemingly to come in front of my blind, I'd have to put my call down, get the bow in position so that I could draw and fire. Well, then they'd kind of back away from where I needed them to be. So then I'd have to set the bow down, pick up the call again, and squawk away, and then they'd come back. I mean, it was this fun banter and dance that we did. Mm-hmm. And then eventually getting into position, I was able to shoot one. But the mouth call is really the way to go, because then obviously your hands are free, and you could have your bow in your hands or your gun the whole time with the mouth call. But that's an art. Like when I've been out with Mike and he's using that mouth call, that's really something. It's almost like it's a musical instrument, because it has to do with pressure, your shape of your mouth and your tongue positioning and everything. It's a very, very interesting thing.
Is that the call that you and him did a Christmas song?
It is, yeah. Years back, we sang, we played Christmas songs
with your turkey call.
with our turkey calls. Yeah,
that was fun.
Yeah, it was different.
guys-
Look at Shane. Shane's
just wishing he could have seen it.
What the heck?
He's wishing he
I'm
could
gonna
have
get you out turkey hunting. You know what? Ben can take you turkey hunting. You guys are hanging. Yeah. Then you can see it's something else, man. But so that's what's coming up next in the season. But every season of the year, there's just things that I really, really enjoy doing. And I was even thinking about this just in preparation for this time together. Like, I wish much earlier in life I would have discovered these passions in every season, because I think for a lot of people, like, you might get excited about summer because you like hiking or kayaking, let's say. But then once it starts getting cold, maybe you don't kayak, and then obviously in wintertime it's hard to kayak, spring. So when can you really be warm enough to kayak? So then all you're doing is just kind of miserable waiting to be able to kayak again.
Oh, I've kayaked in snow pants before.
Yeah.
You can extend the season if you do that.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's a good idea. Yeah. Why don't we do that?
yeah, well,
Because it's cold.
no, because we can't seem to find the time to do things.
Yeah. Because we have hobbies
A
in
lot of
every
hobbies.
season. But that's kind of the thing. So like for me right now, so I'm looking forward to turkey hunting. And then once that is done at the end of May, then the weather's getting nicer. And now we can ride the motorcycle, we can hike, we can kayak, we could fish in the boat, we work on the land. I mean, there's all kinds of things we'll be doing. And then in the middle of September, bow hunting for deer opens up. That goes till the end of December. And then sometime during that, lakes start to freeze over. Then there's ice fishing.
Yeah,
And then it's like, before you know it,
it's maple syrup time.
oh, and now we got a new season.
We got a new hobby.
Yeah, which is super exciting.
Yeah.
I would even say it's sweet. Nothing. Thanks, Shane. Shane just gave me a rim shot. But I just think it's like there's so much joy in life when you find things you enjoy, because there's so much that life has to offer. And that's really what I would like us to talk about a bit today is being in pursuit of the next season, and not just from a hobby standpoint. But I think even in life, some of us dread the next season of life because we're just not looking at it properly.
Or you're dreading the season that you're in and just trying to get to the next one.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, I just can't wait for this to be over. And that's the kind of stuff, like the second segment, that's really what I want to talk about, is the importance of having these hobbies. Because I think, I really do believe God has blessed us with so many opportunities to find joy, especially like we love being outdoors, like in his creation.
Yeah.
Like there's so much beauty in his creation. Getting up early to go hunting and watching the fog kind of lift off of a field, all of a sudden birds are coming alive, the sun is rising. I mean, you see a deer that just appears out there. I mean, there's so many different things, and all of that comes with just out of a hobby,
Yeah.
So the second segment, though, that's really what I want to talk about is just kind of being in pursuit of the next season and finding the joy in that. But right now, before we take our bottom of the hour break, I'm very excited about our word of the week.
Word of the week. This is the part of the show where Denise and Bill learn new words in pursuit of knowledge and understanding of the English language, and so they can sound smarter.
Smarter. Yes, our word this week is malevolent. Now, there's an interesting aspect to this word. When I say the word malevolent, I'm saying it correctly. And then when I'm reading the word, I want to say malevolent. The difference, the O in there is an You're supposed to pronounce it malevolent. And when I'm reading it, I read it malevolent instead of the right way. So I'm trying to correct that because I like words. Anyway, so the definition of malevolent is wishing evil or harm to another or others, showing ill will. The sentence in the dictionary is, his failures made him malevolent toward those who were successful. Think about that sentence. Yeah. Anyway, this is also a very interesting word. The did you know portion of the dictionary says that malevolent begins with male, and it does not imply any connection with gender. The word's initial component comes ultimately from the Latin verb male, which means badly. English male is a man or a boy. So there's two definitions for male. In the Latin, it means badly. In the English, it means man or boy. By contrast, it descends from the unrelated Latin noun masculus. Malevolent was taken into the English directly from the Latin malevolence, which means ill-disposed and spiteful. The present participle of a verb meaning to wish. Now, this is the cute part. In Latin, the combination literally means wishing ill. The wishing component of malevolent may also be found in its antonym, benevolent. Benevolent meaning kind and generous, which literally means wishing well. So the wishing
well.
Yeah. Wishing well or wishing ill. Yeah.
Interesting.
That's the malevolence. So I want to encourage you to use our word of the week in the coming days. Not to be malevolent, but to just use the word, because being malevolent is bad. Because if you don't use your word, you're going to lose your word. So my sentence this week is...
I'm nervous.
Bill loves the people in his church. Therefore, he takes his job as their pastor very seriously, because there are malevolent forces at work in this world.
Amen.
That might be a run-on sentence. Sorry. I like words. I don't like English.
That's awesome. Nicely done.
Thank
Very
you.
nice.
That's our word of the week.
You're listening to In Pursuit with me, Pastor Bill, a production of WAJC, Your Life Radio on 88.1 and 91.7 FM. WAJC is owned and operated by Maranatha Assembly of God in Forest Lake, Minnesota. If you would like to visit Maranatha Chisago Lakes campus, we have 4 weekend services to choose from. Visit MaranathaChisago.org to learn more and to check out some past messages. There we are, and we're back
We're back.
after that long break.
Long break.
Yeah. Yeah, we're back. We're back. I also want to remind you here on Your Life Radio, WAJC 91.7 in the Forest Lake area, 88.1 down towards the cities, and I believe south of the cities. But you can also find the different shows on here on most of your podcast platforms. Pastor Mike does a Friday morning show called Something to Think About, where he does just that, gives us stuff to think about. That's from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. That's a live show. And then obviously ours every Thursday here from noon to 1. And then these are all taken and put into podcast forms. You can also search Maranatha Chisago Lakes on all of your podcast platforms. Find past messages as well as these shows, again, in podcast form. And we would like to invite you to share about the radio with your friends and family around the world, because we want to be international.
International.
Right?
We're already
Let's get it out
national.
there. We're national.
We're
Yeah.
national.
We're in
Yeah.
Michigan. Yeah. All right. So here's what I want to talk about now for this second segment, where it seems to be becoming a pattern where this is the have some points and how can we be challenged or encouraged or whatever it is we want to call it.
It's so good.
Yeah. I enjoy it. It's just the way I think now. But here's kind of what I want to talk about is just I have 4 things for us to consider as we are in pursuit of the next season. And so whether it's, again, finding joy in seasons. I know for some people, like winter can be a very depressing time because we're just inside, we're stuck inside.
Yep.
Or maybe it's the opposite. For some, they feel too much pressure in the summertime, the heat, the sun, all of that stuff, and it's just for whatever reason, so they want to stay inside. So maybe an encouragement to find some enjoyment in the different seasons, but also the different seasons of life. Because I've learned, I used to think this. I would look at my mom and dad, and I would pretty much think they've just done everything. They've, right now they're in their 70s, but I had this thought probably 20 years ago where I looked at them and I just thought, they've lived through everything. Their kids are adults. It's like there's nothing new for them. But as I've been more and more involved in their life, it's like I continue to see even my mom and dad in their 70s, there's new seasons. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
That there's different times that they're entering.
Yeah.
And I just think it's life,
It's cool.
It is cool, yeah. If you look at it the right way, it's cool.
Right.
If not, it's like, this is terrible, And that's why I want to encourage you today, be in pursuit of this next season. So here's 4 things maybe to consider as we look at that.
You know what you made me think of?
I don't. No.
Before you, yeah.
Yeah.
It's when your beard started going gray, or maybe it was gray. It was just getting more.
My beard's not gray.
Yeah, a little bit. You would say, I can hardly wait until it's a full gray beard,
that's
because you
true.
were just excited about it.
That's
It's
true.
like you look to the next seasons with great joy, and
Yeah.
I love it.
Oh, that's
Because I'll
good.
say, oh, I've got this wrinkle coming. And you go, that's awesome. You just celebrate that with me, because there's nothing I can do about this wrinkle coming.
Yeah.
So just, you do that naturally.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, one of the reasons, because my dad now, when he grows a beard, because my dad can grow a beard too, but when he grows
Not everybody can.
Not everybody can. But when he grows a beard, it's I don't know if you could say it's all gray, all white now at this point, but it's like, man, someday, and Shane, you too. I mean, you're getting some gray in yours too. Someday it's gonna be all that, man. It's gonna be all that. It's just gonna happen,
Yes.
So, going off of that point,
Sorry.
we'll start with this. The first
Okay.
thing maybe to consider is this: accept it. Just accept it. The seasons are always going to change. It's like I can remember even last fall having the feeling of like, okay, it's gonna be a while before the ice is going to be on the lake. So I'm bow hunting and we're still doing stuff around the house and almost like, is it ever going to happen? Is there ever going to be ice on the lakes? And now it's like, well, there's not a whole lot of ice left on the lakes. You know, there's open water all over the place right now.
Yeah,
The seasons are going to happen. They just keep coming.
they do.
And so I think that's a good place to start, is just say, you know what, I'm just going to accept that the seasons are going to be changing, and why not look for the good in it?
Yeah.
Even, again, back to the simplicity of the hobbies. I wish that when I was 30, I had a hobby in every season that I just loved, because right now, like, I can't tell you how much I look forward to the next seasons.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I always have something to look forward to doing, you
Yeah.
know, because I've done that. But I don't want to get so hung up on the hobbies, because I really want to kind of get people to think about their life as well,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Like I think about even with kids. So I have 2 daughters, you have 4 kids. And I can remember specifically when my daughters were young, I remember thinking, boy, I can't wait till they're a little bit older. When they're not as much work and, you know.
I was pretty intentional when my kids were little.
Yeah.
Just I just enjoyed it. I was a
Embracing.
stay-at-home mom, and we would have some bad nights, and would just get to cuddle with them, you know.
Yeah, yeah,
I was pretty intentional with that,
yeah.
but there were times later that I, because when you're having all those kids, you aren't thinking about the teenage years.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But even with kids, like, to accept the fact that the next season is going to come,
It
and
is.
it really comes a heck of a lot faster than you think it's going to come.
Yeah.
Because right now, for me, Em and Maddie they're going to be 25 and 26, you know, April and June.
Mm-hmm.
And there's sometimes it's like, oh my gosh, I'd love to go back a few seasons
Mm-hmm.
when they do have tough nights and I could just cuddle with them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You were the one that comforted them.
Yeah, I loved
Yeah.
it. I just loved it,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
But now I'm in a season where, you know, Emma's engaged, and, you know, there's grandkids. And so it's like embracing this season, really just accepting this is the season that I get to be in right now.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Because they're going to keep coming. So let's just accept it, embrace this season, and embrace the season that's coming. And
Right.
just know that it's going to keep coming. I even think about, like, with my mom and dad over the last handful of years, just even the closeness of relationship that you and I have with them.
Yeah.
Like, I love my mom had an ablation, a surgery on her heart here a few years back, and I remember sitting in the waiting room with my dad.
Yeah.
And being part and being present. And my dad just had a knee replacement. I remember I'm in the waiting room sitting there with my mom. And I'm telling you what, it's like they wouldn't have been able to keep me from being in that waiting room waiting, because this is the season we're in now.
Right.
And I love being a part of. It's like there's a part. It's like I want to make sure that we're in a position, like, we want to take care of them as time goes on, and this is just the season we're in.
Right.
And accepting there's always going to be these different seasons.
There are.
You know, it just makes a big difference. I know some people, you know, professionally, the changes that come. A friend of mine in particular, kind of an unexpected professional change happened a month or two ago, and it's been kind of fun to be part of that and watch him in this, and now to see what's coming out of that change, that unexpected change. Do you know what I mean?
I do. Yep.
Where it's like, okay, there's a new season, accept it.
Yeah.
You know, accept this season, because there's always going to be different seasons.
Yes.
You know,
They just keep coming.
They do. They
Yeah.
just keep coming. So that's the first thing maybe to consider, is just accept the season you're in. The second thing that I want to just kind of lay on our minds is this, and this one, I think these next ones, it's kind of like you got to walk a fine line. But the second thing to consider is this: be where you are.
Yeah.
Just be where you're at. And this one can get hard for me because I can get to where I'm so looking forward to something coming up that's all I really think about. And now I waste a lot of the present, you know. So like if we go on vacation, and this happened recently, So I literally, like you guys, it's ridiculous. And Shane, you're just going to shake your head again. But I was counting down the hours. This is like, seriously. I would say, hey, honey, this time next week. Hey, guess what? We're like 5 days. Hey, listen, in 72 hours. I mean, it was that ridiculous. And then I found out afterwards, she said, can we not do that next time? 'Cause it kind of stresses me out a little.
Well, you have so many things you have to get done before you leave for a period of time. It's like and he just kept reminding me, you only have 72 hours to get that done. And then you have 36 hours to get that done. So
Yeah.
we did it, and then I was like, yeah, we probably shouldn't do that next time we leave.
Yeah.
You can count it out to yourself. Maybe go in and tell Shane
That's
how
what I'm
many
going to do
hours.
from now on. I'm just going to let. Yep. Yeah.
Let Shane know.
Yeah. But I think it can happen a lot in life, even whether it's in relationships or even from the hobby standpoint. I can miss out on a lot of ice fishing if I get too antsy about turkey hunting.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's important to be where you're at. Enjoy this season you're in to the fullest, and even thinking about kids. So our kids are adults, but to anybody out there that might have small kids, even just thinking of that picture, Molly helping Megan make cookies.
Yeah.
It's like, don't let this time pass without soaking in as much of it as you can,
Yeah.
because it is precious.
It goes fast.
And
it doesn't feel fast when you're in it, but when you look back, it's like, I blinked and I missed so much.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a song.
Oh, yeah.
You're gonna miss this.
Or Don't Blink. There's a song called Don't Blink.
That's right. Yeah, it's a very good song.
It's true.
Yep.
Yeah.
And yeah, they are very, very true songs, because that's life, and sometimes you don't learn it until you get farther on in life. But I think that's where a conversation like this is important, is just to say, we've lived some. I mean, it's not like we're in our 90s or anything like that, but we've lived some life, and yeah, it's important. Be where you are. Enjoy the season you're in to the fullest.
Right. Not that you're not going to have bad days
No.
or be so tired you can't think, but that's one day. Don't miss the whole season.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly. It's a good point. Yeah. So then the third thing maybe to consider as we look at being in pursuit of the next season is embrace the possibilities. To embrace the possibilities. And so you brought up SAP.
SAP.
So this is a new thing for us.
It's so exciting.
It's very exciting. Do you know what I do now, Shane? I have syrup on eggs because we're not eating bread and stuff right now. So instead of making pancakes, I'll just fry 3 eggs in the morning and put syrup on it. But you know why
It's so good.
You know why it's awesome? Because we made the syrup.
Yeah.
But this is a new thing that we found, and the only reason we found it is because of the seasons that changed. If the season wasn't changing, if we were just stuck in
Ice fishing.
season, or if we were just stuck in
Turkey hunting season.
then we miss this little window right here when the sap is running, and you can collect it and you cook it down, and it's just this super exciting thing that, again, we would have missed this opportunity. And so what has sprung up from it? Another passion. I mean, I hope you can tell just in hearing us talk about it, like, this is super fun to do.
Yeah.
And it takes time, and it's an interesting process.
Yeah, it's just fun. My daughter came over and she went and checked the sap bags with me.
Yeah.
She goes, you invited me over just to be your mule, because I had her carry the sap bags back.
Oh, yeah.
But she enjoyed just checking the sap bags.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun.
And it's one more thing we're doing outside on the property.
Yeah.
Yeah. What I found really interesting about this whole sap thing, like embracing these possibilities, listen to this. Shane, you're going to love this, is you can drink the sap right out of the tree. Yep. Now, it's interesting, and please, I have to put a what do you call it? I have to
Qualifier?
No, yeah.
A cautionary.
Yeah. But there are some that say you need to sterilize it before you drink it.
Right.
So don't go drink a gallon of this stuff and then call me and get mad at me because you drank a gallon of sap right from the tree.
And
because
you couldn't leave
you-
the bathroom
yeah,
because that would be bad.
yeah. And I don't want to hear about it if that's the case. But it's supposed to be, it's like natural electrolytes. It's like sugar water is really what it is. Like when it's in the bag, it just looks like water sitting in the bag.
It looks like water, but it tastes like sugar water. And there's vitamins and
Yeah, there's a lot of
minerals.
health benefits.
Yeah.
Well, you think of it, it just comes right from the ground. It's right out of the tree.
Yeah.
And that tree naturally produces that. So it's a very interesting thing. But again, the point is we miss opportunities if we don't allow the seasons of life to change.
Yes.
We miss those wonderful things that just come out, you know?
Yeah. And to just embrace the possibilities, to get back to that point, is just, oh, this is possible. Let's step into this.
Right.
Yeah.
And now it gives us something to look forward to. One more thing, because this season will come to an end, and we'll move on to the next thing. But then next winter, we're gonna be very excited. I'm probably gonna have 4 miles of hoses running through our woods to collect sap.
50-gallon drums.
Yeah, heck yeah. And me, I'll just start drilling holes in trees. We're gonna get oak sap and pine sap and
No.
whatever. Denise would be like, "How come the syrup is a little woodsy this year?" But it's the opportunity. It's embracing the opportunity. And I got to tell you, man, we've traveled a little bit together to some warmer climates, but I love Minnesota. Mm-hmm. And I think one of the reasons is because the seasonal changes.
Yeah.
Because it's like your whole world changes every 3 months or more often, depending, and it's like, that's a pretty amazing thing to get to experience, and if we embrace it and we see, wow, all these different seasons that come about. If you have kids, enjoy the time you have right now, be where you're at, but accept that the seasons are going to change. And don't lament that, but embrace that.
Embracing.
Like
yeah.
there's going to come a time where you're going to teach your kid how to drive.
Yeah.
There's going to come a time where they're going to go on their first date. They're going to get engaged. They're going to be buying houses. They're going to have kids. I mean, there's all of these different seasons, and it's like, embrace the opportunities, embrace the possibilities that come
Yeah.
with every new season, whatever aspect of life it is.
Yeah, and just understand every season has some downsides, and every season has these great possibilities. So yeah, just step into them.
Well, I think about just when you say that, I think about hunting, and anybody that's hunted or fished knows you spend a lot more time hunting than harvesting, and a lot more time fishing than catching.
Yeah. Yep.
But that's also what makes the harvest and the catching so satisfying.
Yeah.
When you're enduring cold weather, sitting in a deer stand or a blind, and then you see something, you forget all about those difficulties.
Right.
And just remember, while you're going through the difficulties, something's going to break through, something's going to happen, and you're going to look back and say, I hardly remember those tough days of the kids being up all night crying.
Yeah.
I hardly remembered that difficulty. It's like, because you're willing to embrace the opportunities of the next season.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
It's a healthy, mentally healthy way to look at it.
Yeah. From a mentally unhealthy person.
Yeah.
All right. Finally, the last thing. These hours go by so fast.
They do.
They go by so fast. The last thing is, when you consider the different seasons in pursuit of them, remember this, that the transitions take work.
Yes.
I think a lot of times we're so intimidated by the effort and the energy we have to put into the next season of life. That alone can cause us to just sit back and say, I don't know that I want anything to do with that, because I have to put effort into it. Like even this, it can be intimidating. I might have to meet new people, but I have to bring my kids to school. But all of this, it takes work, but remember that it's completely worth it. I've talked often about a friend of mine years ago who just really, and maybe this is where I started to pick up the desire to have hobbies in every season, is this guy embraced the work it took to enjoy life.
To enjoy his hobby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that can translate and apply to everyday life as well.
Yeah.
It takes work. And like what I have to do now, I got to pack away all my ice fishing stuff. I got to hang the auger up. I got to put the sleds away. The fish house has got to be tucked away. I got to put all that away because that season's done.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to take the plow off the four-wheeler. I'm going to actually have to get the lawnmower running because last fall it wasn't, and I just didn't worry about it because I was done mowing and picking up leaves. And now it's like, son of a gun.
Oh, no.
But it really is. I had to dust off the bow. I hadn't shot the bow for a few months. And so the other day, it was one of the times boiling down the sap, just watching it boil. I'm like, I'm going to shoot the bow a few times, and pulled the bow back, and I felt joints creak and muscles go, what now? I think the first time I pulled my release and sent an arrow flying, dust came off the strings of the bow. I was like, but that's the work that transition takes. And unfortunately, I think for some of us in our culture, we're shying away from anything that takes effort and energy because we're so used to just sitting around.
Yeah.
And I just want to encourage you.
Yeah, there's not a lot of work that goes into streaming.
There's not, unless you got to go find the remote and you don't have a kid around to go get it for you.
Yeah.
But the transitions, whether it's hobbies, different weather seasons, if it's around the house, I think more importantly, it's life. It's realizing when we enter these different seasons of life, it is going to take work. There is energy and effort we have to put into things. But to always remember this, that energy, that effort, the work that goes into that transition, man, I'm telling you what, I've learned in my few years, it's worth it.
Yeah.
It's absolutely worth it.
Yeah. Not only because then you can enjoy that season of life, but there's a satisfaction that comes. It's like, you know what, I put the effort in and now I get to enjoy this.
Yeah.
That's very satisfying for your soul, your heart, your mind.
Yeah.
It's very satisfying to set out to do something and accomplish it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And with all of the mental health struggles right now,
yeah,
this is one of the things that I think of. And I know this seems non-scientific, and I know that this seems like, no, this isn't the answer, but I would want to encourage people with this. I think this right here helps keep me mentally stable and mentally healthy.
Yeah.
Just the embracing of even the enjoyment of life helps a lot.
Yeah.
Like there's sometimes in the fall when it's getting to be deer season, I start to feel, and I know this is going to sound terrible, but it's like, I got to kill something. I got to balance. And it's not the killing. It's I have to do what I love to do. And it's just sitting in the woods.
Yeah.
You know, so again, there's so much value. So I don't know where you're all at in life, but I want to encourage you to, man, be in pursuit of the next season. Just accept they're going to keep coming one after another, the different seasons. Don't ever forget to be where you are. Consider embracing the possibilities of the next season, and man, be willing to put the effort and energy into the transitions and what they're going to take. We thank you guys so much for listening. Remember, you can find this on all the different podcast streams. We hope you have an amazing, amazing week. God bless you all, and good luck with the next season.
Oh yeah, bye for now. Thanks for joining In Pursuit with Pastor Bill and me, Denise. We hope you will tune in next Thursday at noon as the pursuit continues. In Pursuit is a production of WAJC, Your Life Radio, on 88.1 and 91.7 FM. WAJC is owned and operated by Maranatha Assembly of God in Forest Lake, Minnesota. The opinions expressed here are not necessarily those of the owner.